Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I'm still gathering my things, so I thought I would just jump on here and let people have a few minutes to find my live while I'm getting my computer ready and make sure I have all my pieces ready. We are going to make a fall card today, and here in South Central Texas, we continue to break records, and we are having a blisteringly hot summer, which, to be fair, a lot of the country is, so I don't feel totally singled out. But yes, and once again, I'm going to be using Stylish Sketches. Probably my favorite of the level 1 items that you can get for free with a $50 purchase. But I'm also going to be showing, hey Kim, I'm glad you're here, this Leaf Fall 3D, which is a really cool embossing folder in the holiday catalog. Hey Susie, I'm glad you're here. And Simone, welcome, welcome ladies. So I needed to go a bit early today because I have an appointment at 4. And it was something I couldn't change, and so here we go a little bit early. So let's we're going to use 2 different items that are free with Celebration, 2 items that are free with a $50 order. One is this gorgeous paper that I really love, and I so want to use this side of the paper, but it doesn't work with what I'm doing today. I love this. I love this. To me, you don't need much else, and I did want to do a little bit more today. So you can see I've got kind of a neutral color scheme going here, and definitely tying into a fall theme. So let me go first with our stamped image, and I'm just going to use a piece of white, basic white cardstock. Here we go. And we were just working with this. I'm going to be punching it out with this new punch, and it's kind of a wavy circle. Hey Linda, I'm glad you're here as well. And so just double checking, I think this is like a 3x2 piece. Oh yeah, I got plenty of room here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp the fig image. I've done quite a bit with the ducks or geese. I made them into mallard ducks. And I've done several cards with the fox. We did discover he's a fox, not a wolf. And I haven't done, well, I've used the fig mainly as a background image, stamping it multiple times. In fact, let's see. So here we go. There's one of my duck cards, and you can see where I put the fig on the back here. And then here's one of my cards with the not the wolf, with the fox. And then here's what I did last Thursday, my super simple, where I was using the fig as a background. So this time I'm going to use it as a focal point. So I'm going to bring in my Memento black ink pad because I'm going to use some blends, and we're going to make some realistic looking figs. Now, to be fair, you could probably kind of make these figs into a different fruit. And actually, figs, they come in several varieties, and some of them are different colors. But here in the South of the United States, our figs tend to be this kind of brownish, purpley color. Super green when they're unripe, and then when they're ripe, they're kind of a purpley brown. So I'm just making sure that's dry. And while I'm making sure it's dry, I'm just going to go ahead and punch this out. I like this punch. It's a really nice size, and it gives just a little bit of interest to your circle. So that's there. And I'm going to need to get a little bit of grid paper or something under me because I'm going to be using the blending brush. This piece has seen better days, but it's handy. Hey Linda, I'm glad you're joining us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use several colors here to color my figs. You know, that looks really bad on camera. Let's get a fresh piece. That looks better. It's like if you ever take a picture of your card, you immediately can tell once you take the picture if something's crooked. You don't see it, and then you put it on camera and you go, oh, now I can see exactly where that is crooked. I'm going to use the dark soft suede to just color in the branch just a little bit. And then I'm actually going to use this dark soft succulent for the leaves. And I like this because it really kind of gives me a, did I mean dark soft succulent? I think I did. It gives me kind of a, the soft succulent is a, it's a cooler green, and that's kind of the vibe I'm looking for here. Actually, I think I'm going to pull the light soft succulent over here and just bring out a little bit of the lighter tones as well so I don't get it too dark. Now, to be fair, this is going to dry, and when it dries, it won't be quite as dark, but I think we'll lighten it just a bit. And again, I'm wanting a fall vibe, so I'm wanting my colors to be a little bit deeper. Not super bright, to go with my fall theme where I've got some darker browns going and soft succulent blends. I've used both the dark and the light to create a little bit of variation there. So I do like the two shades together. They look good. Okay, now the figs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm using the light rich raspberry. That's the purple I'm going to use. And I'm just going to come in like so. Doesn't that look like a fig right there? I love it. But then I don't want it to get too dark, and I also don't want it to look too purple. So I'm bringing in the dark petal pink and just going over the whole thing and blending out the purple with the petal pink. And it gives me just that, that's the way figs in the South look. So I got a pretty realistic look that I'm really happy with. What I'm going to do before I put a little wink of Stella on those guys is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to kind of soften this white with a little bit of crumb cake. So let's just ink up this blending brush. And again, what it's going to do, it's going to highlight those soft edges of this circle punch. I can't remember the name of this circle, but it's like a fancy circle, and that may even be the name of it, but it just works. So there is, hey Pat, I'm glad you're here with me today. And I saw Jeanette pop on here. So now that's my stamping. I've got one other little bit of stamping to do. If I can find my piece, let's see. Where? Here we go. So I am going to do just a small greeting, and of course there are no greetings with this stamp set. So I pulled something. Let's see. Once again, I've used this Go-To Greetings numerous times with this stamp set because this is a must-have for your stash. So I'm going to do something small. I've already die cut this little guy here. Let's see if I can, I wanted a thank you. Where's the thank you? Here we go. Let's see if I can, this is a cling rubber stamp. Let's see if I can get it in there. I actually have more than one of these in case I need it. Best practices would have been if I had stamped it and then run it through my die cutting machine. But that's just kind of the way it went when I was prepping today. So let's see if I can get that in there. Hoo-hoo! Looks pretty good. think I'm a little bit high. Let me come down here and see if that looks better, and then we'll take the best. That's a little better. Okay, so now I'm ready to start putting this together. And we are actually going to use that new embossing folder when we put this together. And we're also going to use this great tree ring designer series paper. So I've got a Early Espresso card base here. And as I said, much as I love this paper, this side, and it pains me to turn it over, I am going to turn it over. And I'm going to use the tree rings. That's going to go better with my color scheme and my theme. And I want the figs to be my focal point. So I need them to really stand out. And if you're wondering, the other reason I used the soft succulent for the leaves here is you see how there's a little bit of that soft succulent in this, in the watercolor on this. Hey, Dudley, I'm glad you're here with me today. So now I want to bring in a little bit of some texture. And I'm going to do that with this new embossing folder, which is really, really lovely. And I want to show you a couple of things that we're going to do with it. So let me clear my space here a little bit. You know what? This is going to go on the inside, so let me go ahead and put that down while I have it in front of me. Here we go, all around the four edges and a little bit in the middle. And I just think, you know, when you're doing something like a card like this, and I've got this real fall vibe going, having a crumb cake base, easy to write on, it just kind of keeps it from being too white. Okay, so I'm done with my blends. Let me go ahead and do a little wink of Stella. Actually, I think I'm going to do it on not just the figs, but I think I'm just going to do it on the leaves as well, and really bring that nice bit of, just that little bit of sparkle, because I want that to be my focal image. Now, let me put this and this away. What else can I put away? Clearing my space here so I can bring my die cutting machine in. I am going to still be using this. So, okay, here we go. Now, when you do this, you're going to be using, it's the 3D, so that means I'm going to use this cutting plate, and that's the only one that I need. Hey, Diane, I'm glad you're here with us as well. And then, here's my Big Boss. Now, I had a couple of little pieces here that I was going to show you. Let's see if I can find my little scrappies. Well, let's see if Candy can find the scraps that she was going to show you how this works. This embossing folder is really interesting. I like it a lot, but I wanted to show you some different ways of using it. And let's just see if I can find where I put it. Not finding it at all. Let's see. There's a lot of cards and classes being prepped in here. So give me just a moment. I will put this here. Give me just a moment. And I will round up a few things. Of course, I'm probably going to find this when I'm done. Here we go. So I wanted to show you what it looks like, first of all, with just a little bit of, this is just a scrap of the copper. But the beautiful thing about this is that you can use just a scrap and it comes out really neat. This becomes like a little layer or a little focal point for you. It's really lovely. So this is just, thank you so much for those of you who are sharing this. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Now look at that. I mean, even if I'm not going to use it here, but look how pretty. And yeah, look under the big balls. That's actually a good idea, Jeanette. Well, it's not there either. Not under my... So this is what I wanted to show you, is how cool it looks with the foil. I think in particular with the copper foil. So even if I wanted to use that, I could just put a little, I'd probably put a little mat around it, put a greeting there, and you just have a beautiful, beautiful fall card. So if you notice the whole, let me put this underneath. You see how it's like a spray of leaves. They're falling. So you can do it where you have part of it open. You know, you have some part that's not embossed and some part that is. But you can also just use it as a focal point. And that's really what I'm going to do. I can't even find my piece that I cut. I can't find anything. Ay, ay, ay. So this is the part that I don't like doing on camera just because I think it takes too much time, but here we are. So I'm going to do a 4x3 piece of Early Espresso, and of course Early Espresso is the color of my card base, and 4x3 is just a really nice, it's a really, really nice measurement to work with. When you're doing when you're using your 12 by 12 paper, of course, it's great because you can do those 4x3 pieces and have no waste. So that's really handy. And then I'm going to mat that with a piece of 4 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to use Rich Razzleberry, tying in with the color, just a hint of color that I put on my figs. So yeah, I guess honestly you get to see the process when I do it this way. But I like to bring it out and just kind of put it together when I'm on camera. So, but I'm open to feedback. So you guys tell me if you prefer with or without the whole process. So now I am going to, you can see where I'm going here. Now this starts to really come to life. I'm going to take this Early Espresso. I'm going to pop it in here. And I'm going to get as many of those leaves in there as I can. And then it's going to go right through my Big Boss again, which I don't even think you can see because it's way over here. Let me bring it over here. And you know, I get conflicted about bringing my camera up higher because then you can see more of the Big Boss, but then things down here are a little bit farther away, and I like there to be as much close-up as possible so that you can really see the detail of what's being worked on. Okay, so now I am going to take this beautiful piece of embossed cardstock, and I'm actually going to flip it over. I'm going to use the debossed side. So this is the embossed side where it's raised. This is the debossed side where it's indented. And now I'm going to add some more ink to it, or add ink to it. It doesn't have any ink. And I love, love, love the way this really brings embossing folders to life. And thank you, Laurie. The close-up does show more detail, doesn't it? This, when you do the tone on tone with this, it causes everything to really, really come to life. So let me just show you. I've done this top half, but I haven't done the bottom half yet. So can you see how it's bringing the detail really starts coming to life? Here I haven't added the ink yet. So just tone on tone ink, and it makes such a difference. Now, just for demonstration purposes, this is the side I'm wanting to use. I'm wanting to use the flat side, which is debossed. But what I'm going to do is, just for demonstration, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to show you what it looks like when you do the same thing on the raised side. So now it's going to catch, the ink is going to catch all of the raised bits, where when you flip it over and use the debossed side, the ink is hitting all the flat bits so that the indented bits are more pronounced. So there's the embossed side, and there's the debossed side. The other thing is how much texture is going to show on the front of your card. So I wanted it to be a little bit flatter because I'm going to be adding some other things. Okay, so that is done. I am going to use a little bit of liquid glue. Anytime I'm using the embossed pieces like this, I do find that the liquid glue is a little bit kinder. Sometimes you'll find that the embossing wants to kind of pull your seal. So I like to use the liquid glue. And again, this is a 4x3 piece. This is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And now, when I put this on here, you can see how now it all starts kind of coming together. And there's my figs. So I'm going to put a little bit of ribbon underneath here. And let's see if I can find it. I tell you, I was getting all of my stuff gathered, and now I can't find a blessed thing. Ay, ay, ay. You know, it might just be in my basket. Let's see. Haha, there we go. Oh, there's my pieces. There's my pieces I was looking for in the basket. Okay, here we go. See, I did prepare. I did have all my ducks in a row. They just all went, scattering. My little duckies went scattering. Now, you see, here is how it looks in Old Olive, which would also be very nice. Although, if I were doing the Old Olive, although it actually looks pretty good that way, you know, folks. It's just a really different look. So I wanted to go with a lot of really deep neutrals, and that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to take a piece of ribbon, and let's get some proper scissors here. And we are going to put this, secure it right here on the back. And I do like seal or glue dots for securing your ribbon. You know, you can't use your liquid glue to secure ribbon. That just does not work at all. And I'm going to do it like this. And then I'm going to put a little bit more right here on that flat spot just to help secure that ribbon. Hold it in place. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals here and pop this whole panel up. And again, I'm wanting, you know what, I think this Stylish Sketches is great for giving you these nature-inspired cards. And what I like about nature-inspired cards is they work really well for men and women, providing you don't put too much, you know, like lacy, frilly, feminine things on it. You really can use it for men or women, which I do like to have that kind of versatility. So now that's going to go there. So a little bit crooked maybe, and I'm just going to trim that like so. Just give it a nice little, and now I'm ready to put my figs right there, and I'm going to pop them up as well. Thank you so much, ladies. I have several of you who are saying that you're sharing my video, and that really helps. You know, it all goes down to Facebook algorithms and things that help us to get our videos seen. So there we go. There is my figs. Now here is my little wee tiny greeting, which I think is going to go right there. I kind of like it there. And I think I'm going to do one more little something. Now I could leave it pretty plain like this, which is one idea. I could add a little twine, but I think I'm going to add just a little touch of gold thread. See how that just kind of lifts everything? Now, this gold thread, this is the way it comes. So you may or may not be familiar with this Simply Elegant trim. You get a spool of the gold and the silver. I think this is like $8 or $9. I don't know, but it's really good, especially with the holidays coming. You'll use this a lot. You can use this for packaging. You can use it for your cards. It's really useful. So what I'm going to do is, let me put this down first. I need a mini dimensional right there. So anytime you're putting down a strip, a greeting or something, and it's going to overhang, see, this is already up on a dimensional and this is not. So I don't want that to like sag down there and deflate. So I'm going to put one mini dimensional right there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. And then that is going to make sure that my height, that the variations of, what's the word I'm looking for? Depth, I guess, match, that they're cohesive. So that is actually looking really nice. I think I'm going to bring in a little bit of this gold and just slide it right under here. Put that down pretty tight. Yikes, will it go? Haha, there we go. So I'm just going to thread that under there. And I can either do a little knot or I could do a little bow. And again, this is the Stylish Sketches stamp set that's free with a $50 order. And then the Rings of Love is the designer series paper that's also free with a $100 order. So you can get this gorgeous designer series paper for free. You can get the stamps for free and stock up on the things. Oh, my ribbon came loose here. Stock up on some things that you need. Maybe you want some blends. Maybe you want this punch would be a great thing to put on your order. Some envelopes. And this, I tell you, the other thing would be great to put on your order is this Go-To Greetings stamp set. I tell you, it is super versatile. So I'm glad that you like this. So I'm getting some positive encouragement down there. Now, you know what? That is going to have to be secured a little bit. That's going to bug me because I don't want that kind of flying around. There we go. There we go. So there I have my card that has a nice thank you. Now, Go-To Greetings, I could have put a hello here. I could have put a happy birthday, and I could have put just a note. So I think that that is kind of bringing in that fall vibe, which is what I was wanting. These look like figs that I could just go and pick right off a tree. And again, it's a very nature-inspired card. I've got the tree rings here. I've got the figs here. I've got these really cool embossed leaves here. So that, to me, puts everything in that I'm wanting with a nice card that I'm really, really proud to send to somebody, to give to somebody. This would also make a great set of greeting cards. I was talking to Jeanette's on here, and she was just over here in my studio earlier today helping me prepare for some classes. And she was talking about, you know, with Christmas coming up, she's already planning on some card sets to give to people. These make phenomenal gifts. So I could easily do a set. If I did here, if I did, there's my little, there's my, I keep wanting to call him a wolf. There's my fox card. There's my duck card. So here's my, my prayers card. So, I mean, I could even do, I mean, these are just random cards that I made. So you can go with a little bit more of a color scheme, which this is kind of my odd one out here. But here I've got my crumb cake, and here I've got my soft succulent. So you can kind of do cards that the colors that will coordinate together, and then put them in a box and give them. So really quick before I sign off today, let me just remind you that my card class that is open for registration right now is the Hope and Prayer. And this is my card class by mail. It is $39, and you get everything you need except the stamps and ink to make this set of 8 cards. I do have a, all of your embossing is done for you. These stitched circles, these vellum dragonflies, all that comes ready for you. The only thing you're going to cut is the designer series paper. So I always do, with my cards with a twist, I always do one fun fold. So that is here. Oh, and this matches another pair over here. You do get your envelopes, and you also get a half pack of this gorgeous, seriously gorgeous paper. that is called Splendid Day. Really gorgeous foils on one side and beautiful matte, very soft finish on the other. You do get a full roll of this gorgeous soft seafoam seam binding. It's really nice to tie, whether you're using just a little bit like I did here, or whether you're doing a full on bow like I did here. It ties so nicely. You also get a package of these pearls. So those have kind of found their way off my prep table here. But this is my Cards with a Twist for August, and it is hope and prayer. Great way to share God's love in a really soft way. You're in my prayers. I could send that to anybody. Under his wings, you will find refuge. Perfect for somebody going through a rough time. I thank God every time I think of you. I would love to receive that card. I thank God every time I think of you. This one, I put the cross behind it, and this one, I put the little spray of flowers, and then hope anchors the soul. And I think, again, that is for anybody going through a little bit of a rough time. I do try, when I do these card classes, I try to use every stamp in the set and give you a lot of ideas. And that's why when I do the Cards with a Twist, I give you 2 different ways of interpreting the same card. Sometimes it's just a small difference, like the color of cardstock here. Sometimes I do a bigger difference, you know, with the stamped images. And then here again, I've done kind of a color difference. But it just gives you more ideas so that you're going to get the PDF tutorial, so you have all the cutting, the measurements, all of that, full color photos. But that way you can make more cards. Maybe you'll use a different set of Designer Series papers the next time you make it. Or maybe you'll use bolder colors. So there's lots of ways, but my aim is to give you a phenomenal card class in your mailbox, but also to equip you with some great design ideas and some very usable layouts, very usable instructions, so that you can be making more before my next class releases. So that is it for today. I will be here on Thursday at my regular broadcast time of 4 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for being here with me early today. And remember that you can always go to shopwithcandy.com and you can get this gorgeous stamp set for free with a $50 order. You can get this gorgeous paper for free with a $50 order. And I will, when I download this to YouTube, I will also give you the inspiration sheet, so you'll have all of the supplies that I used here in case you're wondering. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and God bless.